ארץ אחרת, גם אם אדמתי.
Last month, Israel marked 1 year since the deadly October 7th attack that took over 1,200 lives and resulted in more than 250 civilians kidnapped into Gaza. The country gathered to remember those lost. They prayed for those hostages who remain captive in Gaza and honored the nearly 800 soldiers who have paid the ultimate sacrifice with their lives. But in the shadow of these memorials, one group is often overlooked. Today, an estimated 12,000 soldiers have been injured in this war that has devastated both sides of the conflict. These soldiers, many facing life-altering physical and psychological wounds, are quietly fighting their own battles. This is the story of Israel's wounded warriors. I'm David Blumenfeld for the Armstrong-Williams Show.
Never did I face anything like what I would face on October 7th and beyond. I joined the IDF when I was 19 years old. I moved to Israel specifically to defend the Hebrew tribe, the Jewish people, my homeland. The IDF is often painted in a certain way, but actually it's comprised of Druze, Ethiopians, people like me from around the world, French, American, Canadian, all of us with different occupations. We have mechanics, we have teachers, we have students, we have fathers of five, we have newlyweds like me. On October 7th, I was at a conference. I wasn't even in the country. I had about 20 missed calls from my wife. A white pickup truck filled with Hamas terrorists rolled into Sderot. Videos are going viral of people running at a music festival. Gunfights are breaking out in the middle of roads. All hell is breaking loose. Rockets are being launched into Israel nonstop, and she's freaking out, and I'm trying to calm her down. 72 hours after I got back to my unit in the south to try and oust Hamas and try to get our hostages back. We walked in on foot, 6 kilometers into the Gaza Strip. It's the scariest hike of all of our lives. Each step closer to what is just a playground of terror. From the first day we were there, we were shot at incessantly by Hamas. They'd pop out of their tunnels multiple times a day, events that would last 2 to 3 minutes. Mortar shells, AK-47s, anti-tank missiles, RPGs. And very quickly you saw this transition where, average Joes really became combat soldiers once again, including me. I forgot about everything else in my life and focused only on the safety of myself and those around me, and obviously the mission at hand. To do that mission required us to go house by house. Not because we want to, it's because Hamas hijacks residential areas and essentially turns them into what they shouldn't be. Battlegrounds, weapons depots, command centers, basically places from which to design and launch terrorist attacks. In a lot of the homes where we found Hamas uniforms, we found UNRWA vests. There was a home where we found RPG heads in one of the closets of the children's bedrooms. In one of the kitchens, behind some wooden boards, we found AK-47s and munitions. On that 15th day, we were tasked with taking a home where we believed there might be a tunnel entrance. I had to cross in front of an UNRWA school, and actually inside was a tunnel entrance, was a weapons depot. About 4 Hamas combatants were waiting for us to cross. Behind the school, there was a sniper, and they were communicating between the two of them. So we crossed unknowingly into what would be an ambush. I got to the entrance to the house we were supposed to overtake. I turned around to see where my officer was. He was about 20 meters behind me with our comms person. Both of them get shot and go down. I take off my bag. I start to shoot towards the school to give cover fire to them both. And I ran out. Bullets were going all over the place. I take 2 to 3 feet towards the house. And on that 3rd step, it feels like a truck just drives straight through my leg. I mean, I thought my leg flew off, and that was a sniper bullet hitting my lower right leg and eviscerating about 8 centimeters of bone in the process. As I'm crawling, I get shot in my left leg by an AK-47, and thank God I was able to get back to the house. Within about 40 minutes, they got me out and came straight to Sheba Medical Center. It was a miracle. I remember waking up from surgery at Sheba. And the first face I saw and the first voice I heard was my wife, who comforted me and reassured me that everything was going to be okay. Fell back asleep and woke up the second time, and I was surrounded by all my friends. I was 5 months hospitalized in Sheba Medical Center. Now I'm in rehab here, 3 to 4 times a week, physical therapy, occupational therapy, hydrotherapy. all different kinds of treatments.
Since October 7, I don't think that you have an injury that we didn't see here. Head injuries, eyes, ears. We have 2 soldiers with lung replant because of their injury, together with some kind of psychological post-traumatic that every citizen in this country had. It's not simple, but we are prepared, we are ready. We know how to think out of the box.
When you enter the room, it's like you're not in the hospital anymore. Just with pressing a button, we can change the environments. So we have many different environments for physiotherapy to make it more interesting, for cognitive therapy, for PTSD, to give it more layers. We always bring new cutting-edge technologies in order to expand the tools that our therapists have.
So interesting to see virtually how I line up with some of the activities I've been doing in physical therapy the past year. I'm happy we came.
תראה, כל הזמן יש איזה שיח סביב המוסריות של צבא ההגנה לישראל. ועל גופי אני חוויתי את זה. סיפור קטן, מה שנקרא, המטען שהתפוצץ עליי בתוך לב עזה, הוא התפוצץ עליי מתוך בית ספר. מתוך בית ספר של ילדים, יש לי גם תיעוד של האירוע הזה, שהמטען הכינו אותו בתוך כיתה, שילדים לומדים בה. ואנחנו, היה לנו איזו בקשה מסוימת, כמה שעות לפני האירוע הזה, לפוצץ את הבית ספר. כי ידענו שהבתי ספר בעזה הם ממולכדים, והם מלאים במטענים. וזה לא אושר לנו. לא אושר לנו מהסיבה שאין הפללה. לא ראינו בעיניים מחבלים בתוך הבית ספר, לא ראינו בעיניים את המטען. אנחנו לא יכולים להוריד בית ספר של ילדים, כי בעצם לא ראינו כלום. ידענו שזה קיים, ואני כמעט שילמתי על זה בחיים שלי.
כל פעם זה מפחיד אותי מחדש לראות את הסרטון הזה, מחזיר אותי קצת אחורה. אני חייל מספר 3. מישהו שלח לי את זה, הם פרסמו את זה, יש קבוצת טלגרם. הנה אני פה על האלונקה, בפינוי לכיוון מאיפה שהגענו. אפשר לראות בסרטון שהם ממקמים את המטען בתוך בית ספר. רואים פה לוח, רואים כיתה, רואים איך הם מושכים את כל החוטים. הם כאילו מצלמים איך הם הורגים את האנשים. 4 חיילים נפצעו באורח קשה, אני מביניהם. פינוי היה סופר מהיר, וזה מה שהציל לי את החיים. אחת מהכדוריות שפגעו בי נכנסה בגב ויצאה מהכתף, חתכה לי את השרירים, פגעה לי בעצב, עברתי ניתוח, אני נמצא כרגע בשיקום בשיבא עדיין.
Our patients were injured in battle and mostly go into the first hospital that receives them. They go into the ER. They do whatever has to be to save their lives at the time. The second place they go into is the operating room. So any surgery has to be done on their bodies. And after that, they stay with us in rehabilitation anywhere between 3 weeks to 10 months.
הפציעה שלי הייתה לפני 3.5 חודשים. בניתוח שעשו לי, הלחימו את השרירים, חיברו אותם, ומאז אני בשיקום, מנסה להחזיר את הטווח. כרגע אני מצליח להרים את היד בערך 20 מעלות.
We classify them by circles. So the first circle is the one that you can see. You can see it by imaging, you can see it by the surgeries they went through. It could be just broken hands, ligaments are torn, nerves are torn. Some of them also have what's called blast injuries. There's a shock wave, and it gives you like a concussion. And then there's other causes from combat. So prolonged periods of time of not sleeping, or malnutrition, or anxiety, high levels of adrenaline for prolonged periods of time. So all of these together impair the brain. There's also the emotions that come with being injured. So there's a lot of guilt feelings. Why am I here? Why am I not there fighting? Or why did I survive and not someone else? Most of them are between 20, 23. It's an early age. A lot of them lost friends. A lot of them seen really horrific things. October 7th, of course, but since then in battle, it's not easy. The beginning would be to normalize what they're feeling. Talking to them and explaining to them that they're not the only ones that feel this way. It's to be expected. You're not the only person that's going through this. We ask them what they want to do, and then we work with that. So we're working with anything that has to do with dexterity, anything that has to do with balance, with force, their hands. They just went to fight, but they're expected to go back to their lives. Are there 5 kids waiting for them at home? Or are they going to continue in outpatient unit, which we also have here?
אני מתמודד עם הרבה פלשבקים שעולים לי, ומחשבות שעולות לי, וקושי בשינה. חשבתי שאני עומד למות, והנה אני מאבד את החיים שלי. זה משנה תודעה, זה משנה את המחשבה, וזה לא רק האירוע עצמו של המטען שהתפוצץ עליי. יש לי 4 בנים בבית, וכשאני נמצא בשדה הקרב, אני הרבה חושב עליהם. מ-7 לאוקטובר שעזבתי את הכל, עזבתי את אשתי, את הילדים, את הבית שלי, ופשוט הלכתי להילחם. וזה דבר שמשנה את התודעה, זה לאו דווקא הפציעה בסוף. כאילו הפציעה בסוף ברור שהיא מאוד משמעותית, אבל כל מי שעושה מילואים כמוני, הגעתי ל-280 מילואים, משהו כזה, זה עובר עליו. המרחק מהבית זה משהו שלא הכינו אותי אליו, וזה היה אחד האתגרים הכי קשים שלי. כשאימא שלי ילדה אותי, אז אני חושב שהחלום שלה היה שאני אגדל כבר לא יהיה צבא, לא יצטרכו אותו. אני פחות נאיבי. בוודאי שאני פוחד על הילדים שלי. אני נלחם בשבילהם. אני באמת מקווה שכשהם יהיו יותר גדולים, אז יהיו ימים שקטים יותר, והם יוכלו להיות במקום יותר רגוע ויותר נינוח. ובאמת אני מאחל להם שלא יצטרכו לעבור את מה שאני עברתי.
It is easier to build up strong children than to try and repair broken men.
The streets are plagued with crime, violence. There's a lot of poverty, and it's all a result of lack of education that's happening in our schools. So it really is a crisis.
We come from very different political perspectives, but we've come to the same conclusion, and that is there is a crisis in the classroom. Children are being deprived of quality of life because they're being deprived of a good education. We must solve this problem. It's incumbent upon all of us to join hands together to get this done.
We can't afford to wait one more day before we address these issues, because every day we lose another child.
Let's stop the politicking. Let's stop the games. Let's really do something to give these kids a real chance at life and being a part of that American dream.
We need accountability for funding. Many of the districts where you're seeing very low test scores, students graduating with very low literacy and math comprehension rates, they are receiving a lot of funding. So where is the money going where our kids aren't being adequately educated?
If you believe every child is deserving of a quality education, please go to educationjusticefoundation.com.
Here in Israel, soccer is more than a game. It's a national passion that inspires and unites people from all walks of life. But this is no ordinary team. Meet Israel's national amputee soccer team, a group of extraordinary athletes who have turned personal challenges into triumphs. Some players lost limbs to accidents and others to illness. But today, their latest players bear the scars of war.
On October 7th, I was in the north in a train base, and my commander woke me up and said, Shaked, there's a lot of terrorists in the border and we need to go. We start traveling to the border, to the south, to Kfar Aza kibbutz. And we get there like in 11 in the morning until Monday morning. 2 whole days of fighting Hamas terrorists and save 96 of our people. After that, my unit enter Gaza Strip in the north. We are the first to go because of the shielded vehicle we have. It's called the Namer. It's like a tank without a cannon, and it allows infantry soldiers to go in safely. But as a commander, I decided to go outside by myself. I had like 2 shots, and I fall on the Namer. And I didn't realize what happened, all the adrenaline and all that stuff. But when I look back, I see my leg off. That shot was for me. So I crawled back to the exit and I start yelling at my medic. He pulled me over and put a tourniquet and stopped the bleeding in my leg. And I can see another hole in my stomach, so that's the second shot. The rescue was quite a success. After 20 minutes, I was in the hospital. When I wake up and I realize I don't have a leg anymore, I think my whole life is in a wheelchair, like my mom carry me all the time.
On October 7th, we knew that there are a lot of injuries and lots of amputations. They were soldiers yesterday, and today they wake up and they have no limb. So for us, it was first of all important just to be there and meet the new soldiers that actually didn't know how it's like to be amputee. They thought of, okay, my life's ruined and I'm gonna be sitting on a wheelchair for the rest of my life. So they see us and they hear about the football and about other things that we do. Me, for example, I surf, wave surfing, kite surfing, snowboarding, and all those things I've learned after my amputation. When I was little, I had a bus accident. I lived with reconstructed foot. That got worse and worse with time until when I was 30, I had my amputation. So after my amputation, I started looking for sports that I can maybe represent Israel in international levels. 5 years ago, we had the first training ever of amputee football team in Israel. Short time after that, we actually joined the European Federation. All the players use crutches to move, but they cannot use crutches to touch the ball. So in fact, we can only use the one leg that we have. The goalie has one hand. We played 50 minutes per game and not 90 minutes like a normal game. We have no offside and we can change players as much as we like in basketball. This is, I think, the only team that doesn't want any new players, but once you are amputee and you like football, I think this is the best place for him to be in.
In the very first few weeks, Tzach Shechur, the captain of the team, he came to visit me in the hospital and he told me that I can do anything with my life and put a prosthetic leg and to walk again and even play soccer. And when he said soccer, I said, I don't believe you. Go out from my room, like, I have stuff to do, yeah? And after that, he showed me some videos.
And then I showed him the European tournament between Turkey and England. It was more than 40,000 people that came to see that specific game.
It's blown my mind. And I said to him, after I'm healing in the rehab, I come to play, of course, in the team.
I was surprised about how fast they recovered and rehabilitate.
Maybe now, Israel, Oana!
2 of the players we've met at the hospital, 4 months after that, already joined the team and participated in Euro Championship in France in last June. So I'm very proud of those guys and we have big goals. We want to work hard and enjoy ourselves. To be a part and the captain of this team, I think it's in a way the most significant thing that I've done in my life.
I'm obsessed with the team. It's not only that you play soccer and it's fun and all that stuff. It helps you mentally and physically very much. It's important for amputation to have a strong core, like all the abs, to be strong, also mentally. Yeah, definitely, like there is some good things about the injured. I think that I learned about myself. I think I didn't think I live without a leg, but Now I can see 1 year after I'm injured, I can succeed no matter what. So the message I like to give to people that have a hard time in their life or something that happened to them, don't give up. You can do anything.
As a home buyer, you need a lender who cares about your home ownership dreams. United Security Financial has been helping families secure their dream homes for 30 years. We're a national fair practice lender that provides affordable mortgages and low down payment programs to eligible home buyers. To learn how United Security Financial can help you secure your dream home, call 1-800-373-4186.
החלום שלי כרגע זה לחזור לחיים הנורמליים שלי. זה שיהיה פה תחושת ביטחון. זה שתושבי הצפון יחזרו לצפון, זה שתושבי העוטף עזה יחזרו וילכו לישון בשקט בבית שלהם. זה באמת החלום. שיהיה לנו פה טוב, שיהיה פה רגוע ויהיה פה שקט, ושנרגיש בטוחים פה.
First of all, it was hard for me to accept that I was going to live without a leg. But when I realized that I can succeed, I would complete little goals. That's all other situation. I would say I learned how to succeed no matter what.
I fight for the people of Israel. I fight for what I believe are true Western values, for democracy, for freedom, for the things that people, I think, have taken for granted in this day and age. In a world dominated by radicalism and fundamentalism, I mean, we are the tip of the spear. We're the front line. You know, for me, I have a lot to be grateful for, that I was able to kind of test my values, test who I am, and come out of it, you know, obviously in a lot of pain and forced surgeries and hospitalization, but I'll be okay. And I think that moving forward, I'll only be stronger.
As Israel enters the second year of this harrowing war of survival, the 76-year-old nation is weary. Amid profound loss and relentless challenges, it is Israel's wounded soldiers who have emerged as powerful symbols of the country's unyielding strength. Scarred by battle, but undaunted in spirit, these brave individuals embody hope, endurance, faith, and the determination to persevere, even in the darkest moments.
אנחנו שנה במלחמה. אנחנו שנה שהמדינה הזאת רועדת. אני כל הזמן אומר לאשתי גם שאני באמת מאמין שאנחנו נצא מחוזקים מהתקופה הזאת. בסוף זו תקופה מאוד מאתגרת לכולם, גם לא למי שנמצא במילואים וגם לא למי שנפצע. כן, אני רואה איך אנחנו יוצאים מחוזקים מהתקופה הזאת, יוצאים מאוחדים. דרך אגב, אני נמצא פה במחלקה בתל השומר. אתה רואה פה את האחדות הזאת, אתה רואה פה את החיבור של כל עם ישראל, של האנשים שבאים ונותנים ודואגים לחיילים הפצועים, ובאמת עושים פה מעל ומעבר. הגעתי לכאן לפני 3.5 חודשים, פלוס מינוס. כולם פה קיבלו את פניי בצורה הכי מדהימה שיש. כולם פה עזרו לי. פרופסור דודקביץ', הפיזיותרפיסטית שטיפלה בי בנאמנות 3.5 חודשים. אני רוצה להגיד תודה לכל אחד פה. באמת. אני לא אסיים, באמת, אני צריך לעבור פה אחד. והחלום זה שזה יצא החוצה. לא רק פה, בתוך הבית חולים הזה, לא רק פה, בתוך המחלקה הזאת, אלא על הרחובות, על הערים, שהאנשים, שנהיה גוש אחד, ואני באמת חושב שביום שזה יקרה, אף אחד לא יכול עלינו.
This is David Blumenfeld for the Armstrong Williams Show.